Everyone is going to tell you to keep your wedding timeless. Neutral palette, white florals, minimalist, everything. Play it safe and you'll never regret it. Here's what I've actually seen after photographing hundreds of weddings. The couples who played it safe are often the ones who look back at their photos and feel a little disconnected. Like, the wedding was beautiful, but it could have been anyone's. So, timeless doesn't mean neutral. It means specific. The all-white minimalist wedding was everywhere for a while, and it photographed beautifully. But it's starting to feel dated now. Not because it was ever ugly, but because it was a trend pretending to be a philosophy. Playing it safe is still a choice, and it's still subject to the times. What actually holds up isn't the absence of personality, it's the presence of yours. So what actually timestamps a photo? So 3 things that age fast. Trendy editing, that warm, saturated look that dominated the wedding industry for like years. It's already dating itself. Yeah, I mean, I see it in my own photos. Heavy filters with like extreme color grades, they really tie your photos to a specific era. And when that era passes, so does the freshness of the image. This is why I shoot and edit towards natural light and true color. It's not a style, it's staying out of the way. Prop trends. Neon signs, oversized balloon walls, they're fun in the moment, but the neon sign gets like maybe 5 minutes of real estate in your gallery. It's not bad, it's just, it might not be you. Over matching everything, like when the bridesmaids match the groomsmen's ties, and then those ties match the napkins, which match the florals, it starts to feel like a catalog shoot rather than a celebration of real people. On that note, let's talk about your dress. Yes, your dress style can date your wedding album, but if you're going for a dress that A, looks good on your body, and more importantly, B, you're comfortable in, it will show through in your photos. For more info in that regard, check out my previous video on how to appear natural and comfortable in your wedding photographs. So yes, my mother had big sleeves and shoulder pads. It was the 80s, everyone had perms. Like, yeah, obviously it was shot in the 80s, but what really stands out is the look on her face, the way the moment was captured. Like, yeah, we live in an era. There's gonna be some element of dating. And I really love the large variety I'm seeing now in terms of like wedding dresses and bridesmaids dresses, like in styles. I'm seeing sleeves, I am seeing puffy shoulder stuff, I'm seeing even like the early 2000s, the super simple, like I see all of it, and I really love all of the variety that I'm seeing. And that'll bring me to my next point, like what never timestamps a photo is the way that you look at each other, the way that you laugh at each other, every single time. Like your grandmother's face during the ceremony, the handwritten note your best friend slipped you that morning, your mom's garden flowers and the centerpieces, like your dog walking down the aisle. Those personal details rooted in your actual story, they don't have an expiration date. They're not borrowing an aesthetic, they're documenting reality. And reality is always timeless. An example of this, I shot a wedding where each centerpiece had a photo of them at a certain river that they had gone fishing in. So each centerpiece had like, or each table had a name, and it was the name of that river. And then there was a photo of them. So that was a really cool little tidbit, you know? The things that never age are going to be those meaningful details. Like not decor for decor's sake, but objects that actually mean something. The ring that belonged to a grandparent, or the book you were both reading when you met, things like that. Those carry actual weight, and it shows in photos. Like, there was a cake topper I shot recently, and it was the bride's parents' cake topper from like the 80s. It was like this Precious Moments cake. It was so cute. I loved it. So authentic moments. The portraits are for you, but the candids are what you'll live in. The moment your dad sees you for the first time, the way your new spouse looks at you during vows when they think you're not looking, your flower girl losing it on the dance floor at 8 p.m. Like, nobody planned that, nobody pinned it, and they'll hold up forever. The people you choose, your guests, aren't a backdrop. They're the story. The reunion happening in the corner, old friends who haven't seen each other in years, kids who have no idea what's going on, but they're having like the time of their life, and they're meeting all of their cousins that they never met before, things like that. The more your wedding is designed around your people, the more alive your photos will feel. A simple test for every wedding decision is when something feels like a trend you're chasing rather than a choice that's actually yours, ask yourself, would I have loved this 5 years ago? Will I love it 5 years from now? Trends aren't evil. Some are genuinely fun and do actually fit your personality. But if the answer is, I love it because I've been seeing it everywhere lately, that's worth pausing on. The question isn't, is this trendy? The question is this us? And if that answer is yes, then that's okay. You can follow the trends as long as it is like your style and your aesthetic, and it's something that you really connect with. The couples who are most afraid of being too much often end up with the least personal weddings. They sand down every edge that feels risky, and then they look back at the photos of a wedding that was beautiful in a very like general way, but your love story is specific. A wedding that reflects that, even if it's a little weird, even if your florist raises an eyebrow, even if it doesn't pin well, will feel like yours forever. That's the only kind of timeless that actually matters. If you're planning a wedding in Austin or the Hill Country and you want a photographer that can keep all of this in mind and capture you as you actually are, the booking link is in the description. I release new videos every Friday, so subscribe so you don't miss one.